afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in onto the point with the king, right? You guys find us Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Well, Twitter? Wait, can we call that my ex? YouTube, which is hopefully where you're watching us. And if you are, please go down there, click subscribe, click like. We're waiting to gain more subs. When we get to 750, that Raptors hoodie will be going to one of you lucky random people out there that enjoy our show. Thank you for supporting us. We definitely appreciate it here on this end. And we definitely appreciate you supporting our fantastic guests, especially my man, all the way from the East Coast, the coach, Tim Roache. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man.
How's
Can't
it going
believe
in
it's
Philadelphia?
just how's it what? Oh yeah. We're doing all right. We're doing pretty good. I think we're top four, or are we top four in the East or something like that? We're doing all right.
Yeah, you're doing a good job coaching that team.
Yeah.
But seriously, how
Yeah.
are you, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Excited for the Raptors and Raptors basketball. It's been a bit of a up and down year so far, but we keep chugging along.
Yeah, we're a quarter way through the season almost. So, but coach, the reason why I asked you to come on to this particular episode, okay, and this is for you, ladies and gentlemen out there, you Raptors fans. Now, you and I both, as former coaches, right? We see the game a little bit differently, and we recognize talent when we see it, and we utilize that talent. Now, can I ask you, based on that, can I ask you, what do you see from Scottie Barnes? Yeah, you guys click the thumbnail. I know you guys want to watch this. What do you see from Scottie Barnes from a coaching standpoint so far this year?
I'm going to sum this up in one word: versatility. I've watched him play point guard this year. He gets announced on the broadcast as the two guard next to Schroeder. Watched him play the three. When Anunoby's been hurt, Scottie's at the three. Gary's at the two. Watched him play the four. You know, he's on the floor with Pirtle or Precious or someone like that. Watched him play the center position, particularly at the end of games. You know, when you're versatile on offense like Scottie, you have someone who can create or get his own shot, create for others also. You have someone who can post up in the low post because he's a big, strong kid. And you can have him in the high post because he has the vision to see the floor as well. He has been used a little bit this year, and the numbers will say that. I know that would be a second part of the show per se, but he's been used as a floor spacer as well. When Siakam has it going, Scottie can kind of space the floor a little bit. That's just on the offensive end. Now the defensive end. Watched him guard point guards. Watched him guard two guards. Literally just watched him guard Zach LaVine the last 5 minutes of the game. Did a great job, by the way. Watched him guard Jason Tatum against Boston. Last 5 minutes of the game. Did a really good job on Tatum. Watched him guard other fours in the league, and I just watched him guard Miles Turner towards the end of the Indiana game. That is basically the definition of versatility. When the coach has someone that can do as much as he can at both ends of the floor, you're one happy coach. And I think Darko really is happy.
I think the whole staff, Darko, Jama, all of them. But if I may weigh in here, from what I've seen from a coaching standpoint, I completely 100% agree with you. When you got a kid like that, who has not even hit his ceiling to to play those parts, right? On especially considering, I guess you could say maybe somewhat more of a veteran team, right? When you got the autos, if you average out the ages, it's just numbers. But
They're the sixth oldest team.
yes. Now, what I will say is right here on To the Point with the Skip and the King, okay, we did predict Scottie Barnes will be drafted by the Toronto Raptors long before anyone. We were the first ones, okay? I did say that Scottie Barnes, with his length, his strength, and his ability, and like you just touched on, vision to see the court, can help motivate the Raptors. I did say that he will, and I think we all can agree, will be the face of the franchise going forward. And I also did say, Art, I don't know if you want to call up that clip. One of the things that I noticed about Scottie was I noticed, and I've been seeing this since they drafted him. Once that kid gets a 3-point shot, it's over. It's a wrap. Literally, it's a wrap. Right? He can't be stopped. And what I noticed in the Rico Hines runs was he was just walking up, pulling up, knock a tray, and go back on D. Right? I think with the development within the Rico Hines runs, and Scottie, as you and I both know, and if y'all out there don't know, y'all better know that he's going to be the face of the franchise coming up very soon, right? And we would like to see his game elevate. We all support him. We are all fans. Everything I see from him. And by the way, Scottie, if you are watching this, I will not post it online. But if you want to come by, my mom will cook you some oxtail. Okay? And some rice and peas. And you're blessed. Okay, fam? You already don't know what it is. Now, Coach, I gotta ask you, now that we're talking about the young kid, the freshman, the guy that's kicking ass and taking names later, right? How do you see him? Like, what are your thoughts on his numbers? Let's get into the analytics right here. What are your thoughts on his numbers?
I'll do this in a very simplistic sense first.
Okay.
Points are up. Blocks are up. Steals are up. Assists are up. 3-point percentage is up. To me, that says improvement. He's basically up in most every category out there that's traditionally tracked in that sense. He's averaging almost 20 and 10 for the season so far on basically 6 assists and 56% true shooting. What's interesting about Scottie is the numbers between wins and losses. They're actually rather similar, but with wins, defensively, that's where it changes. So on wins, he's averaging about 2 blocks a game. He's averaging 2.5 steals per game, and he's averaging about 10.5 rebounds per game on wins. In losses, he's averaging almost a block, almost a steal, and almost 8 rebounds. And the 3-point percentage is also down at 35%, which is still pretty good, stuff like that. On wins, Scottie is shooting almost 42% from 3 in wins. So he is making a major impact offensively and defensively. I will say particularly defensively in wins. And we watched it the other night against Chicago. In that last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, was everywhere on the defensive end. Garden Levine making big blocks. Look, these numbers to start the year are incredible from both ends of the floor. I'll be one of the first to admit I never saw 30, what's he shooting on the year? 38% from three. Like, I figured there would be a jump, not this much of a jump from shooting the three ball. He's been really, really good. And back to my point, what I said in the first part of the show, when I said versatility is how to describe him, he's in the 100th percentile for versatility rating, which is a defensive index rating. 100th percentile. You can't get any higher than that.
Yeah.
And he's a 74th percentile defensive player. It's a defensive box plus or minus player, which is pretty good. Absolutely. And he's in the 78th percentile for offensive box plus or minus. 86th percentile for the passer rating, which is really good. Creation wise, he's in the 90th percentile on.
Oh, really?
That's basically it's
I didn't see
an
that.
estimate of the number of open shots created for teammates. So that gets back to that part about creating for others as well, not just for himself. Scottie, to put it bluntly, is an analytics dream. He's really good from an analytics standpoint. I could go probably even more and more into the numbers, but
Go ahead.
all I can say is
no. Go ahead.
no.
Please.
But like the portability, which is
Please go ahead.
an attempt
because
to,
people in the States and people that are watching us around there, they only see LeBron, James, Jason. They don't see what Scottie is really doing, and we got to give him his flowers. Please.
yeah, like he's in the 92nd percentile for portability, which basically is an estimate how well a player would fit with a selection of 4 random players. So you could put him with 4 random players, and he's in the 92nd percentile. It's pretty darn good to be that. And that gets back to versatility. Yeah, look, it's Scottie's been playing really well to start this year. He's made a big developmental jump. And look, he heard a lot of noise in the offseason from a lot of people who weren't impressed with what had happened last year. I think Fred had to go for this to happen, to take for him to unlock him a little bit. Yeah. Like, he doesn't so much have the keys to the kingdom yet. I think it's coming in the future. But
it's definitely coming.
Yeah, you have to take these developmental jumps, at some point. And him as a number 4 overall pick in his 3rd season, he's showing everybody. But the thing that I like the most, like the 38% from 3 is terrific so far. It's the defense. And I give this coaching staff credit because a lot of his numbers, they're having him more at the rim, altering and blocking shots, and he is more so out on the perimeter. And I think that's credit to Darko's staff to doing that. And when you have a strong athlete like him who can block shots and steal the ball and guard basically 1 through 5 to a degree, what a luxury it is to have.
You know what? You mentioned the 3-pointers. You know what? He's up 10% this year. Now, I'm going to run through for you statistical people out there, okay? His field goals are plus 1.3. Field goals attempts might be plus 2.2. His field goal percentage is 1.6%. His 3-pointers, okay, are plus 4.2, which I said that if this kid gets a 3-point shot, he can kill it, okay? You know what? His points might be up plus 4, right? His steals are definitely up. His blocks are up. His assists are up. His rebounds are up 2.5. Maybe touch on the rebounds probably because, like you just said, Coach, they have him maybe closer to the paint. But when I'm watching these games, and you and I as coaches, we sit there on the bench and we watch. We're not always looking at the clipboard. We got some guy sitting there with the clipboard. punching in all these numbers, right? We're watching. And from what I've seen is, like, to touch on what you just said earlier, he's everywhere. Like, it could be like, sometimes it looks like 5-on-1 when I'm watching it, right? Like, he's doing deflections, he's throwing like touchdown passes to the other end through transition. And from what I've seen, and like, it basically, okay, hold on. I'm going off script here. Okay. Basically, it opens up the door for guys such as, especially Pascal Siakam. It kind of alleviates the pressure on his shoulders when Scottie's playing the way he's got to play. Well, the way he's playing currently. It alleviates from OG, Boucher, Pirtle, right? Like, because more of the focus has been drawn to Scottie. Like, we all know Pascal was and I hope you agree with me on this one, Coach. Pascal was more effective in the championship run when he was used as the number 2 option, maybe the 3 option, right? And now that kind of seems like that's coming right back full circle, right? So with Scottie being on the court and playing the way he's playing and keeping up expectations, because I know you guys might have shitted on him last year. That was a sophomore curse, okay? Let's throw that out the door, okay? He's been up and up on it. Now, with the way he's been playing, Coach, my question to you is his projection going through the Toronto Raptors organization going forward in the years as we get older, because we all know he's going to be the face of the franchise. What are your thoughts on that, my man?
Well, if he's on this developmental trajectory, I expect the numbers to continue to go up. The 3-point percentage is the one that interests me the most. He's shooting 38% from 3. I do wonder if that is sustainable for the rest of the season. If it is, wow. Oh, I'm just gonna say that would be wow. And even if it goes down a few points, it's still wow. Like, if he is at 35% at the end of this year shooting threes, that's still a massive statistical jump. It's still I think it was a 7 or 8 point jump in percentage from last year.
Mm-hmm.
I expect Scottie.
It's a 10-point percentage from 3-point.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if that was to drop a little bit, because it's hard to say if that will be sustained for the rest of the year. But if it is, fantastic. Even if it drops a few points, it's still fantastic. So yeah, from a projection standpoint, it's going to be it's hard because he's so versatile. It's not like there's 1 or 2 major things that he is terrific at. He's good at everything. So you kind of wonder, what are there's going to be 1 or 2 things that he gets, or 3 things that he gets like really, really good at. And I think it's going to come with time. To me, what I've been seeing lately is, especially defensively, there's this growth, or there's been this like growth maybe towards like a Giannis.
That's where I was going. Yeah.
Milwaukee put the right pieces around to complement his skill set. I'm not so much saying that Scottie is Giannis, but the defense,
it's the same
right
template,
now,
right?
Yeah, except Scottie is actually a better at spacing the floor than Giannis is. He's certainly a way better 3-point shooter and stuff like that right now. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see over the next few years that trajectory, what he becomes really good at. Like, a couple of things where, yes, he's really good at points in the paint, or he, you see comparisons or flashes to some hybrid of Tatum and Giannis. which is a pretty good hybrid comparison. Um, Certainly defensively, he's much better than Tatum, but he's an enigma a little bit, and I mean that in the good sense because you really don't know where or how far this could go. You mentioned earlier about how the sky's the limit for him from a talent standpoint. I think it is. It's really hard to look forward and say, yeah, that's what his numbers are going to be. It's difficult, but I think he's on the right path.
You know what I think? Like, Coach, you and I, from what I saw, from what I've been watching from these games, is you and I would understand, and as coaches, you would entrust a certain player when you see them on the court in between plays, barking at other players, their teammates, to, okay, here's what we got to do. Here's what we got to do. And they're listening to him. He's got Schroeder, who's a vet and has a ring. He's got Pascal, who's a vet and has a ring. He's got Pirtle, who's a vet. He's got OG. All these vets, and I don't know if you see on the quick cutouts, but you see him going blah 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 blah, and they're going okay, like he's like, okay, let's just say this: Schroeder is a point guard. That's what they say he is, right? Because he has to play that position. Scottie is actually really the floor general from what I've seen, right? Yeah, he's going to go through his ups and downs because he's got to learn. But that's what I've seen from him mentally. And I applaud that because I also see, like you mentioned earlier, the vision, right? Okay, you can compare that to Magic, right? He's solidified his mid-range. He's very aggressive. His defense is impeccable, right? Because he always wants his hands in there everywhere. He's like Winnie the Pooh. He's got to put his hands in the pot, right? And now that he's getting his three-point game up, there is nothing that can really stop this kid. So from an eye test, coach, forget about us coaching, forget about the numbers, just from our eye test, forget about our projections. What do you think from what you see when you see this kid playing?
Unbelievable talent. Can do a little bit of everything on the floor.
Versatility.
Versatility. It's the one word that I can't think of another word really to describe him. It's versatility, and he's in the 100th percentile on defense for doing so. And I think offensively too, you can make a case for that. At the end of games, he's playing center. It's not Pirtle, it's Scottie. They're playing kind of like that small ball center. They're starting to put him more in that offensive hub of Pirtle's role when Pirtle's not on the floor. They're putting Scottie there, and I think that actually makes a ton of sense. When you have the ability to coach a Scottie, a Giannis, trying to think,
a Luka,
just someone versatile, who can play multiple positions, but also guard multiple positions. That's one of the keys as well. It's unique that you could see someone with his ability be able to do what he can, especially offensively and defensively. So when Darko says he's really blessed to coach someone like Scottie, I'm pretty sure he's genuine when he says that.
Oh, no doubt, man. Are you kidding me? Coach, come on. You and I have coached teams. If you were to have a guy that could do that, I'm going to go take a nap on the bench. Okay? Are you kidding me?
You might be able to. Yeah.
Right? And then wake up and go, did we win? Huh? Right? Give me a coffee. But no, seriously, man. This kid is absolutely phenomenal. Right? I think it's like a once in a lifetime thing that we've seen. And this is my 5th decade watching, playing, studying this game and loving this game. I think I haven't seen anything like it before, and I'm glad that he's here in Toronto. And by the way, let me send out a message right here. Scottie, I said it before, and I'll say it again. If you want to come by, no social media. You're more than welcome to have some oxtail, some rice and peas, and coleslaw. Okay, but Coach, do you have any parting shots on Scottie overall for the Toronto Raptors? Just something before we get out of here.
Yeah. Look, he's off to a great start this year.
Yeah.
We see the improvement. This comes with young players. When you put in the work, you typically get rewarded for it. And I think this coaching staff has also put him in a role where he is given more of the keys to the kingdom, and he's taking advantage of it, and we're starting to see that. And as fans, when you see a talent like him, a talent like Giannis, a talent like Siakam, appreciate them, appreciate their abilities for what they can do. So I guess that would be my parting shots. Versatility. That's what I would say.
Isn't that what we started with? Again, we came around full circle. Okay. All I'll say is this kid is the face of the franchise. He's gonna make me a Raptors fan again. Okay, there's no question about that. I got nothing but love every time I watch the game. It's great. But speaking of what I love, is I love our fantastic guests, especially you, all the way from the East Coast, the coach, Tim Roache. All you guys, find us on To The Point at Instagram, Apple, Amazon, whatever. I already said it at the beginning. You can scroll back if you want, right? But thank you for supporting us. We definitely appreciate it. And thank you for supporting our To The Point family, right? Such as the coach, such as our other guests. And if I do consider you To The Point family, that means you've watched this episode. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, again. And so on behalf of myself and the coach, Tim Roache, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and peace.